Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, saya ucapkan selamat sejahtera.
The topics of this morning share is self-kindness, how to reduce stress by kindness towards oneself. So it's still related to kindness, compassion, but it's more to self-kindness. So this will be the outline of my sharing. Basically, there are three parts. The first part is what is kindness. Second part, why is self-kindness important? And the third part, the more important one, is how to practice self-kindness. Okay, let's go to the first part. What is self-kindness? Self-kindness is also called self-compassion, also known as self-love. So in this sharing, I'm using these three words interchangeably. Self-kindness is self-compassion. Self-compassion is self-love. Let's look at this very nice, interesting cartoon from Francois. You look at the cartoon, you see a snail, little snail here. Okay, and what does the snail say? The snail says, "You are doing amazing. I love you so much." Yeah, so snail is talking to the snail. So the snail is talking to herself. Then there is a caption here: "Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love." That's exactly self-kindness, which is relating to ourselves with kindness, just as we would relate to others. So many of us, we are very kind to others, but we are not kind to ourselves. Self-kindness is being kind in our thoughts, our speech, and action to ourselves. So it's an extension of kindness. Usually we understand kindness by helping others, be kind to others in our thoughts, our speech, and action. It's the same thing, but directed towards ourselves. Be kind in our thoughts, speech, and action towards ourselves. Maybe let me tell you a little story which I heard from Ajahn Brahm that help us to have a better understanding of self-kindness. There is a story I heard from Ajahn Brahm's talk, and this story is actually adapted from the Theragatha, the poems of the senior monks. It's about seven monks meditating in a cave. So who are these seven monks? Of course, we have the head monk, the chief, the most senior one. The head monk, his best friend, his best friend and his own brother. First three monks. Then we got another three monks. This is an enemy monk, a sick monk, and also an old monk. So in total, how many monks already? Check whether you're still paying attention. 3 plus 3, 6, is it? So got one more monk left, and that monk is actually the useless monk. Useless monk, the lazy useless monk. So the 7 monks. Okay, so at one time they were meditating in the cave. One day some robbers came. So dialogue, the robbers came. They discovered him. So they were competing for the cave, Yeah. So the robbers, the bandits wanted to kill all the monks, They wanted to kill all the monks, but this senior monk was very good. He was very wise. He was very skillful. He managed to negotiate with the robbers. Negotiate to the final negotiation. They agreed that all the monks can leave, but have to leave one. Have to leave one behind to be killed. So one has to be sacrificed. That was the best they could negotiate. Okay. So in this story, if you are the head monk, if you are the most senior monk, or if a lady, if you are the head nun, who would you sacrifice? In total, there's 7. Who would you sacrifice? Usually people will sacrifice themselves. Usually people will sacrifice themselves. But in this story, this chief monk was very wise. He did not sacrifice himself. Most people, when they think of Buddhist stories, they think, oh, a Buddhist story, the hero must be sacrificing himself or herself. But in this story, oh, it didn't happen that way. Actually, the chief monk said, I cannot decide who to sacrifice. So I cannot sacrifice anyone. No one can be sacrificed, not myself, not the other 6 months. Then the chief of the bandit, the chief of the robbers was very, very impressed by the kindness, the unconditional kindness of the chief monk. And he was so inspired. And eventually, to cut the story short, they were so inspired and they actually let go all the monks in the story. Let go on the monks. And half of the bandits were so inspired, they actually joined the monks. They renounced and joined the monks to become monks. And the other half abandoned their job as abandoned being the robbers, and they actually lead a very good lay life. Yeah, so that's a story told by Ajahn Brahm, adapted from the Theragatha. So what I want to highlight in this story is self-kindness is kindness to ourselves and others, no more, no less. That's unconditional love. Okay, so that's the meaning of self-kindness. Be kind in our thought, speech, action to ourselves, as though we are kind to others, no more, no less. Okay, next, why is self-kindness important? So we have defined self-kindness. Second one is, why is self-kindness important? I'll give you 2 reasons. Okay, the first reason is because the Buddha says so. Our master, our Buddha says so. In the Metta Sutta, the Buddha says that just a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life. Even so, let us cultivate a boundless heart towards all beings. This is found in the Metta Sutta. Because we hear this word unconditional love or unconditional compassion again and again in the Buddhist teachings. But some of us do not have the full understanding of unconditional love or kindness. To some people, unconditional love or kindness means we'll do everything for other people. Yeah. So we will serve, you will help, you will support and support. It's for everyone, unconditionally, irrespective of their race, their ethnic background. So we help everyone. We don't choose, we don't discriminate. That is correct. That is correct. It's not wrong. But unconditional love also has another aspect. Unconditional love also means we extend the love, the care, and compassion to ourselves. To ourselves. It's not just unconditionally to other people. The unconditional love includes ourselves. That's why when we practice metta meditation, we'll start with, may I be well, may I be healthy, may I be safe. Then we extend it to other people. May Sister Joanne be well, be safe, be happy. May all our family members be well, be safe, be happy. But I'm sure you notice there's a part we also wish ourselves, may I be safe, be healthy, be happy. So it's part of the practice of metta. So that's the first reason why is self-kindness important. Of course, the Buddha talks about in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha talks about the 11 benefits of practicing metta, loving kindness. So those benefits will only happen if our love, kindness, compassion is unconditional, and unconditional means include ourselves, self-kindness. Okay, I have composed a little song to support my loving kindness practice. Yeah. Some of you might have heard this, some of you might not heard this before. Those who have not heard this before, I wanted to share this with you. It's my creative way of practicing loving kindness. Yeah, so usually loving kindness, the traditional way is we close our eyes, we relax our body, calm our mind, and then mentally we radiate kindness to ourselves, to other people. So that's a traditional way, which is very good. But I have a creative way of practicing loving kindness. I include singing into it. Yeah, so let me sing to you Of course, you can see lyrics. And this song is called Rasa Sayang, the loving kindness version. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey. Hey, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Metta. Okay, then I mentally wish the sister Megan be well and happy, sister Joanne be well and happy, brother Charlie be well and happy. And I'll sing again, Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, so on and so forth. Yeah, so I put joy into the loving kindness practice. Of course, we can sing and also have some hand gestures as well. Yeah, so we can sing with hand gestures. I hope you can see. So we can sing Rasa Sayang, hey, Rasa Sayang, Sayang, hey, hey, may you, may all be happy, 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 Metta. Okay, you notice in the lyrics is may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, and happy. It's not just may you, it's also may I as well. May I as well is to highlight the component of the self, highlight the importance of self-kindness. Loving kindness, compassion, kindness includes ourselves. So may I, may you, may all of us be happy, happy, and happy. Okay. Okay, so the first reason of the first reason why I say self-kindness is important is because the Buddha says so. It's supported by the scriptures in the Metta Sutta, in the teachings of unconditional love. The second reason why I say self-kindness is important because it is supported by science. For your information, there is a science of self-compassion. It's a science of self-compassion. In fact, there are therapies. I'm a psychiatrist. Sister Megan has introduced me earlier. You know my background. I'm a psychiatrist and also psychotherapist. So in the therapy world, they actually therapies, evidence-based, scientifically proven therapies, which is based on self-kindness. There are at least two. One of them is called the mindful self-compassion therapy. Developed by Dr. Kristen Neff and Dr. Christopher Germer. There's another one called the compassion focused therapy by Dr. Pew Gilbert. So there are lots of therapies used to help people with stress, anxiety, and depression. And it's been shown in these therapies, lots of scientific studies that people with high level of self-love, self-compassion, self-kindness, they have less stress, less anxiety, less depression, less shame, and they have better physical health, better self-confidence, and better happiness level. So all these are supported by science. In fact, there's a way to measure self-kindness. Would you like to know your self-kindness level? So we have talked about the importance of self-kindness. Are you interested to know your self-kindness level? It's just like these days during COVID time, people will check temperature. You know, wherever you go, you will check. They will check for the temperature. What is your temperature level? So there's also a way to check. What is your self-compassion level? Yeah. So if you are interested, there is this scale, but it's not a thermometer. There's no thermometer that they put on your head. They can know your self-compassion level. But there's something equivalent to that, similar to that. It's called a self-compassion questionnaire. This is developed by Dr. Kristen Neff, who is a scientist who spent a lot of time researching on the importance of self-compassion. We won't go through the test over here, but you can do it at home after this talk. So you can scan the QR code, you will access to this web page, then answer certain questionnaires, then you'll come up with a self-compassion score. So you're interested, keep the QR code and do it later. Not now. Now you pay attention to the sharing. Then you come up with a score. The maximum score is 5. The highest self-kindness level is 5. So if your score is 1 to 2.5, that means your self-kindness level is low. If your self-kindness level is 2.5 or to 3.5, that is average. If it's 3.5 to 5, that means you have very high self-kindness level. The actual term they use is self-compassion. The title of this talk is self-kindness, but they are the same thing, just that they use different terminologies. Self-kindness, self-compassion, self-love, they are more or less the same, just that different people use the different term. Yeah. So that's the second reason why self-kindness is important, supported by science. Okay, so I have talked about the definition of self-kindness. I'll talk about why self-kindness is important. First one is because the Buddha says so in the scripture. That's the Buddha's advice. Second one is supported by science. Now the more important part, how to practice self-kindness. So that is the practical part, the application part. How to practice self-kindness. Yeah, I'll be sharing with you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways to practice self-kindness. Of course, there are many ways, but I'll just focus on 7. The additional methods maybe we can cover during the Q&A session after this sharing. Yeah, so just an overview. The first one is how to practice self-kindness to prevent burnout. This is very important for those who are in the helping professions. Those frontliners, nurses, physiotherapists, doctors, psychiatrists, those in the helping profession, and also for those who are caretakers, those are taking care of people who are sick physically or mentally. So that's a very important part, how to apply self-kindness for burnout. Second one is on applying self-kindness for mistake. How do we relate to our mistake? The third one is called the I'm not alone practice. This is very useful for people who have a lot of self-pity. People who blame themselves a lot. This I'm not alone practice is very useful. Then we have the butterfly hug, which is very good for physical distress. Physical problem, physical distress, butterfly hug is very useful. Then healing hand is very good for mental distress. Compassionate communication is useful for applying kindness in interpersonal relationship. And the last one, the EFT tapping is good for releasing negative energies related to self-hatred. Okay, so let's zoom to the first one. How to apply self-kindness to prevent burnout. It's very important to understand that self-kindness is not selfishness. Self-kindness is not selfishness. So many years ago, when I didn't have the proper understanding of self-kindness, I thought like, wow, to be kind to ourselves is like very selfish like that. Very selfish. But as I learn more and more, understand the Dharma method, then I finally understood that self-kindness is not selfishness. Yeah. I give you an example. I give you a real life example. Kisah benar. So I'm a psychiatrist, as you know. So I run clinic helping people with stress, anxiety, depression, insomnia, suicide. Yeah, so people come to me because a lot of dukkha, a lot of suffering, a lot of unhappiness. People don't come to me because they're happy, you know. They don't come to me, tell me, I'm happy because of this. People don't. People come to the hospital, come to clinic because they are sick. Yeah. So it's actually very tiring, very emotionally tiring. Taking care of, supporting and taking care of people with mental health condition. I know some of you are volunteers as well. You also on and off help friends, relatives with mental health condition. But imagine I'm doing it full time. I work 5 days per week, full day, day in, day out. I help people with anxiety, depression. Yeah. So it's very important for me to have my own self-care practice. Very important for me to have my own self-care practice. I need to refresh myself and recharge myself. Okay. So I need to take care of myself. Then only I can take care of my patient. So taking care of myself is not selfish. It's only when I take good care of myself, then I'm refreshed, recharged physically, mentally, that I can go back to the clinic to take care of my patient. Yeah, so I hope you can see that when I take care of myself, I am not selfish. When I take care of myself, then only I can take care of my patients better. The file you see I written here, me love for we love. Me love for we love. So I love myself, but when I love myself, I'm also loving my patient. In fact, there's a way to practice non-self. You should try to get rid of this idea of just me or you. You should get rid of this idea of, oh, when I'm taking care of myself, I'm not taking care of you. Or I'm taking care of you, then I won't be taking myself. It's not way. It's when I'm taking care of myself, I'm also taking care of you. When I take care of you, you're also taking care of me as well. So me love for we love. Let's look at this nice cartoon again from Francois. Again, it's a snail talking. This snail is very, very cute, you know. The snail is hugging herself. No use trying to give light to the world when you are feeling stormy inside. No one deserves your love this very moment more than you do. So we hug ourselves, be kind to ourselves, have a self-care plan. Take care of ourselves. I know there are many, many volunteers in Nalanda, so it's very important for volunteers. We need to take good care of ourselves so that we can take good care of other people. Of course, when we take good care of other people, our loved ones, they also have to take good care of ourselves. So it's vice versa. Many people ask me how I take care of myself. In the clinic, I got a lot of patients. They were ask, doctor, I cannot imagine your work day in, day out. You hear people with panic, cannot sleep, suicide, depressed. One of the frequently asked questions I have is how I take care of myself. So this is my self-care plan, just to share with you. I practice yoga stretching. I practice Qigong breathing. I practice meditation regularly, especially the 4 Brahma Viharas meditation. I listen to music. I do chanting. The 3 chantings of my favorite ones are Metta chanting, Ratana chanting, and the Heart Sutra. These are my 3 favorite ones. Of course, I go for physical exercise. I play badminton, but not MCO cannot play. Then I also remind myself I can always care. I cannot cure all the time. So it is very important principle. Those of you who are in the helping professions or you're a caretaker, we can only do our best. We can always care, but we cannot control the outcome. Because if we try to control the outcome, saying that, oh, if I do this, the outcome must be good, you must recover, you must get better, it's very tiring, very easy to get burnout. Of course, I also rejoice on the good things I've done. Instead of focusing on problem, we also recollect. We rejoice on the good things we have done. We rejoice on the good outcome that help to refresh ourselves. Of course, I take refuge in the Triple Gem with the support of the Triple Gem. So that's how I refresh myself, recharge myself, especially over the weekend. By the way, I don't work over weekend. A lot of other doctors, they work on Saturday. I don't work. So I have to take care of my health. I hope one of the aspiration for this year, Sister Sunanda was talking about the aspiration. So maybe after this talk, you have to make an aspiration to come up with a self-care plan, a self-love plan. Remember, if we love ourselves only, don't love others, that is small love. If we love others only, don't love ourselves, that is big love. If we love ourselves to love others, to love ourselves and love others, that is big, big love. That's Buddha love. That's mega love. Okay? So I hope after this, spend some time to reflect how you can come up with your self-care plan. Okay? Good. Let's go to the second one. How we apply self-kindness in relating to our mistakes. All of us make mistakes, isn't it? Yeah. What do you see on the screen? Do you see some breaks? Why I'm showing this break? I want to share with you a little bit on history. So I'm going to bore you with history. Joking only. Yeah. I actually stay in Brickfields. My house is just next, just very near to the Brickfields Mahavihara. So recently, I think I'm getting old already. I'm starting to appreciate history. So I got a Wikipedia and search why is Brickfields called Brickfields? Why is Brickfields called Brickfields? Then I learned that actually at one time, like in the 19th century, Kuala Lumpur was flooded again and again, and there was a frequent fire and frequent flood. There's the time the government actually decided to convert all the houses in Kuala Lumpur. That time were all wooden house and atap house. They started to make concrete house. So Brickfields, the place that the Brickfields Mahavihara is in, was actually the brick factory. Was a brick factory to produce brick for the entire Kuala Lumpur to make brick house. Why has this history of Brickfields to do with self-kindness? Okay, the reason is every day when I go to work, when I pass by Brickfields, I will connect these Brickfields with a brick story told by Ajahn Brahm. Those of you who know Ajahn Brahm, one of his classic story is called the two bad brick story. Two bad brick story. This is how the story goes. At one time when he started his monastery in Perth, that time he has to lay brick himself. That time not many supporters, so he had to build the monastery, build the broad big bricks. So because he was not professional, so when there was a piece of wall, then the two pieces of the brick was a bit uneven, not nice, uneven. So that time he felt very shameful, So whenever there were visitors in the temple, he will bring the visitors to all over the monastery, the temple, but he will hide the wall because he felt very shameful, not nice. But one day a visitor accidentally actually saw the piece of wall, and the visitor said, "Oh, very nice piece of wall." Then Ajahn Brahm said, "Where got nice? Don't you see the two pieces of brick, a bit crooked, a bit uneven, not nice one?" Then the visitor said, "Yes, I saw the two pieces of bricks which are uneven, but I also see the other 998 good bricks." So Ajahn Brahm learned a very useful lesson. He learned that our mind is very funny one. Our mind tend to focus on our mistakes and imperfection. So he learned that. Of course, now he used this to tell stories. He's no longer shameful of his piece of wall. So in fact, people who go to the monastery can visit the piece of wall and learn from story. And that is actually supported by science. In the neuroscience, there's a thing called negativity bias. Negativity bias. What does that mean? It means there's a tendency of our mind to focus on all the negative things, our mistakes, our imperfections, all the no good stuff. If I in Nalanda now, if I do experiment, if I to ask you to recall all the good things that happened for the past 1 week, most of us will take some time to figure it out, to Google. In fact, some might not even get it. They may get more stressed if I ask you to think of anything good thing that happened. If I ask you to think of a mistake, think of something no good, think of something you're unhappy about yourself, something you hate about yourself, very easy, all will come up. So that is called negativity bias. So as a self-kindness practice, we need to learn to embrace our mistakes and imperfection. Embrace our mistake and perfection. Another is accept our mistakes and imperfections. Okay. So one of the way to embrace our mistake imperfections, I'm going to share with you some of my mistakes, imperfections, and challenges in life. So that you feel that we are not alone in having these mistakes, imperfections, and challenges. Yeah. So for this practice, I have this these little stones here and a little container here. So these stones. So I call this kindfulness stones. Kindfulness stones. Stones. You can use guli also if you want. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to recollect some of my mistake, and then I'm going to let go of the mistake. So I'm recollecting my mistake. No, I'm not recollecting to find fault with myself. And I'm not here to tell you, oh, my life's so miserable, so I'm so pitiful, I'm so horrible, I'm so terrible. No, that's not my intention. My intention of recollecting the mistake is to show you that all of us make mistakes. As long as we are not enlightened, all of us make mistakes, all of us have imperfection, all of us have challenges in life. That is very normal. You don't have to be shameful of that. Okay? Okay, first one. What kind of mistakes have I made? Okay, at one time when I was a kid, a long time ago, actually I burned a candle. Not burned a candle, burned a lantern. Burned the lantern with a candle. I burned the lantern. Then of course my parents were very upset. And I lied. I say I didn't burn the lantern because I'm afraid that my parents were very angry, upset with me. Yeah. So that was one of my mistake. So I let go of it. And I tell myself I still love, care, and accept myself. Yeah. Next one. Next pebble. Next kindfulness stone. Once I went to do a Dharma sharing in one, I forgot which Buddhist center. I went to the Buddhist center and discovered I went there on the wrong date. It's a correct center, but a wrong date. Somehow I don't know how I got the date wrong. Yeah, so I let go of that mistake. I still love, care, and accept myself. Yeah. There's one time I prescribed wrong medicine. So that the pharmacy have to call me, give me a call me, and they have to make the correction. One mistake, I let go of that and remind myself I still love, care, and accept myself. Yeah. There's one time I had a panic attack. Some of you have heard of panic attack, severe intense anxiety. I had a panic attack while giving a talk on panic attack. I had a panic attack while giving a talk on panic attack, and I eventually end up with a neurologist thinking that I had a stroke. So I let go of that, and I remind myself I still love, care, accept myself. So we can continue practice a lot more. I have helped many patients. Many patients are appreciative of what I've done for them. But I also got patients who complain. Complain that whatever I'm doing is not good enough, and some even say that I harm them. I make the condition worse. Yeah. So I let go one by one. I let go, let go, let go, let go. So despite all these mistakes and imperfection and challenges, I remind myself I still love, care, and accept myself. So this can be a very powerful practice based on self-kindness for us to embrace our mistake, our imperfection, and our challenges. Remember, it's not a practice to self-pity. It's not a practice to blame ourselves. It's a practice to acknowledge our mistake and remind ourselves we are still human. Remember the book I wrote that is called I'm Still Human. I'm still human, you are still human, we are still human. Of course, we will continuously learn, we will continue to improve. But while improving, we have to learn to accept and embrace our mistakes. Good. A little nice story to complement that practice of embracing mistake. So many of us have this thought that I'm not good enough. I'm sure some of you sometimes also have this thought. Like a very nice story that I learned. Like to share with you. So once upon a time, there was an old man who lived on the hilltop. So to get water, he has to go down the hill, to collect water with the two pots. You see in the picture, there are two pots. Okay. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that one pot, the one on the left, is a bit cracked one, so the water leak. The one on the right is a complete pot. So you can imagine when the old man collect water from down the hill to top the hill, when the time you reach the top of the hill, of course the pot with the complete one has got full water, all the water was still there full. But the other one is a cracked pot, so all the water leak. So by the time you reach the top of the hill, only half of the water left. So one day the cracked pot talked to the master, the old man. They said, "Oh master, I did something to share with you. I feel so horrible. I feel that I'm not good enough. I feel that I'm burdened to you. You see, the other pot so nice, complete, help you to carry the water. And for me, you're already old already. You have to go down the hill all the way, climb out. You sweat. You're so tired. But you reach here, only half a pot of water left. Yeah. So the cracked pot was lamenting. Okay. So the old man, very nice, probably have basic income, just listen empathetically. Then he said to the crackpot, So he said, I know you are feeling horrible, sorry that you feel that way. But tomorrow when we go down to collect water again, I want you to do something. Can you pay attention to the path, to the flowers on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the path? So the crackpot did that, and you know what he noticed? So he discovered that on his part of the path, they were all very nice flowers. You see all the flowers, very nice flowers. Okay, but on the other side, there's no flowers. You know why the reason? Because of the crackpot, the water was leaking on his side of the path. Got water. That's why the nice flower blew. The other side, because the pot is a perfect pot, so there's no water leakage, so there's no water for the plant the other side, so that's why no flower. So this is a very nice story to remind us that we are good enough, just that we are good in different things. All of us have different strength, different weakness. So no need to compare to others. All of us have our niche. We are all important. We are all good enough, just in different things. Our role is to identify our strength. It's a nice story. Yeah. So whenever you feel you are not good enough, it's a nice story to recall. Okay. Besides recalling our mistake and letting go our mistake, remind us that we still love, care ourselves. It's also good that we recollect our goodness, recollect the good things we have done, and recollect the good things that happened to us. Similarly, we can use a stone as well. This kindfulness stone. Of course, just now is to recollect the mistake, we let it go, we remind ourselves we still love, care, accept ourselves. But this practice of recollecting the goodness is slightly different. So we take a piece of the kindfulness stone, but we remind our good things we have done. For example, today I did a Dharma sharing in Nalanda Buddhist Society. Yay, one stone. Okay. For the past 1 week, I worked very hard from Monday to Friday, a right livelihood to take care of patients. Yay. Yeah. Last week, I wrote a new book. I'm Still Human, expanded edition. Yay, good. So we rejoice on a good thing. Today volunteer to become MC in Nalanda Buddhist Society. Yay. Today help to conduct the puja. Yeah. So one stone by one stone, we recollect all the good things we have done. Yeah. So I practice this regularly. But before I have this practice, last time, many years ago, I had some doubts, So I was thinking, this practice correct or not correct? It seems like I do this is like I got the doubt. Am I selfish? Am I narcissistic? Am I trying to show off? Am I trying to show off? Am I feeding my pride? But of course, later I learned. As I learned the Dharma more, I realized that no, that's not true. This practice is actually consistent with the Buddha's advice. I'm going to share this Dhammapada verse to support this practice. Okay, on the left hand side, you see Dhammapada verse 118. Okay, let me read to you. Okay, having performed a wholesome act, it is good to repeat it. Enjoy the pleasure of its memory. The fruit of goodness is contentment. It's found in Dhammapada verse 118. And let me read to you the reflections by Ajahn Munindo. This Dhammapada, I found it in the booklet written by Ajahn Munindo. Okay, I find this very, very inspiring, so I would like to share this with you. Okay, so it says, the Dharma encourages us to bring to heart the memory of wholesome acts performed by body, speech, or mind, and to dwell in the sense of gladness that arises with that recollection. We are not at risk of becoming overly pleased with ourselves if mindfulness is present. We can similarly contemplate our mistakes and shortcomings without losing sight of our goodness if we have developed wise reflection. That we can observe our habits shows that we are much more than those habits. What is it that observe? This is our refuge, the awareness, the way of suffering. With this very awareness, we can freely dwell in the joy of recollecting goodness. Recollecting goodness. And what a relief to find that we can make mistakes and learn from them. Yeah. So I really like this particular verse from the Dhammapada and the reflections from Ajahn Munindo. The part I want to highlight is the part we are not at risk of becoming overly pleased with ourselves if mindfulness is present with this recollection practice. We can similarly contemplate our mistake and shortcoming without losing sight of our goodness. Yeah. So this can be one of your aspiration after the talk. So there are two practices related to this using the kindfulness stone. So one is recollecting of our mistake, our imperfections, our challenges, obstacles. Let them go and remind ourselves we are good enough, we still love, care, and accept ourselves. The second one is focusing more on the positive one. We recollect all the meritorious actions we have done. Recollect all the good things that happen to us and rejoice. Okay, let's move on. I'm not alone. Okay, what is this I'm not alone has to do with self-kindness. Okay, so this practice is based on non-self. Basically is when we face with any problems, any challenges, difficulties, we remind ourselves we are not alone. We remind ourselves we're not alone. Okay, if we are infected by COVID-19, we remind ourselves we are not alone. Okay, if you need to be quarantined for COVID, we remind ourselves we're not alone. Okay, if you are divorced, if you're a single mother or single father, we remind ourselves we're not alone. If you fear of public speaking, we remind ourselves we are not alone. Okay, if you are not enlightened yet, we remind ourselves we are not alone. If any physical illness, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol problem, we remind ourselves we are not alone. If any mental health condition, insomnia, panic attack, anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever, we remind ourselves we are not alone. So everything we remind ourselves not alone. Why do we do that? How is it related to self-kindness? The reason is this is a very powerful antidote to the sense of self-pity. So very often when we are in trouble, when we suffer, there's a lot of self-pity, like, why this happened to me? Why this happened to me? I'm so horrible, I'm so terrible. This is self-pity. And sometimes we also got shame, We also got shame, I got this problem. I don't want to tell people. Shame is a feeling that you want to dig a hole and hide in the hole. You don't want people to tell. We won't Facebook it, Instagram it, We have to hide and hide and hide. Shame, that's shame. Because related to shame is guilt. So when we have this perception of I'm not alone, if we develop this perception of not alone, it's a very powerful antidote to sense of shame, guilt, and self-pity. Do you see the connection? Relate to self-kindness. So we'll be more kind to ourselves when we don't think that we are alone. There are people also with similar condition. Okay. A reminder, it doesn't mean that I wish you to be suffering with me. That's not the mindset. It's not that, oh, I got this problem. Oh, you also got problem. You also got problem. It's not like I'm cursing you. I hope you will suffer. No. That is not the emphasis on the practice. The emphasis is to remind ourselves that it is a common humanity. We are all human beings. We are all not enlightened. We all have problems. We all have obstacles, all challenges. So that reduce the shame, reduce the guilt, reduce the self-pity, reduce the sense of isolation. So that is very powerful practice. Okay. There's also this rain practice. This is related to the I'm not alone. So rain practice is an acronym. So R stands for recognize the stressful thoughts and feelings. So whatever challenges we have, recognize the stressful thoughts and feelings. It's important to recognize. A lot of people, the main problem is they think they have no problem. It's a big problem. When people think there is no problem, when they have problem, they think they have no problem. That's a very big problem. So in overcoming problem, overcoming stress, it starts with recognize the stressful thoughts and feelings. 2, acknowledge the unpleasant experience is self-kindness. What does that mean? Basically, doing anything, doing something, saying something to be kind to yourself. You can do some yoga stretching, do some kindful breathing, do some meditation, listen to some chanting, allow ourselves to do nothing, to let the mind quiet down. Basically, doing anything for the body to relax, for the mind to calm. That is acknowledge unpleasant experience with self-kindness. I is identify our needs and resources to cope. So instead of self-pity, you're poor me, why like that one, why like that one, why like that one, or worry, you focus on what we can do. So I is focusing on what we can do. Identify our needs or resources. You're scared of COVID infection or not? If you're scared, you're not alone. All of us are scared. Who is not scared? But scared only, it doesn't help. You have to do something. Identify the resources, wear masks, make sure we don't touch our face, social distancing, try to stay at home, have Zoom sessions instead of the face-to-face puja and dharma sharing. So this is focusing on what we can do. There's also a very nice saying related to what we are discussing. It says that instead of complaining about darkness, it's better to light a candle. Instead of complaining about darkness, it's better to light a candle. Okay. Of course, the end is, then we remind ourselves, okay, non-self. I'm not alone. Whatever challenges, remind ourselves, we're not alone. By the way, this rain principle was, this was actually adapted by a teaching developed by a Vipassana teacher. This was composed by the Vipassana teacher by the name Michael McDonald. It helps us to be resilient It helps us to be more equanimous in overcoming the changes and challenges in life. And you can see there are many self-kindness components. Okay, I have finished 3. I got 4 more to share. How much more time do I have, Megan? Maybe you can let me know roughly how much more time that I can learn. I can prioritize.
Okay, we have sufficient time for Doctor to introduce all the other tools, but maybe we may have lesser time for Q&A then, if that's okay.
Okay. If you need me to stop, then you let me know lah.
Okay.
So that's
right.
out of compassion for everyone.
Sure. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, so I've good. So I already shared 3 with you: self-kindness to prevent burnout, self-kindness to relate to our mistake in a kindful way, self-kindness in the form of I'm not alone as an antidote to self-pity and shame. Okay, now let's go to butterfly hug. Butterfly hug. Okay. And this practice is useful when we are having mental distress. For example, now everywhere you go is COVID. I'm sure you have a WhatsApp group. There's so many WhatsApp groups, so many the COVID related news. I'm also in the hospital setting. Hospital also got COVID WhatsApp group 1, COVID WhatsApp group 2, COVID WhatsApp group 3. So many messages, so many news. That it can be very overwhelming, very overwhelming emotionally. So there's one practice, one useful practice, when we feel emotionally overwhelmed. By the way, this practice is also shown in a Korean movie called It's Okay to Not Be Okay. So for those of you who have not watched this, I strongly suggest maybe the Sunday school also can watch this together and do some Dharma discussion related to self-kindness. And what does it mean? What does it mean by it's okay to not be okay? So Sunday school, I know many of you are Sunday school teachers. Consider watching this together with your students and have a Dharma sharing related to self-kindness and compassion. Okay. So how do we practice this? So it's called butterfly hug. So the first step, you use your hand to create a butterfly shape in this way. Butterfly. Butterfly. Okay. Then you put it at the chest. Here. Then you tap in this way. Tap. So as though you're hugging yourself, then you tap left, right, left, right. Okay. And while tapping, you can sing the Rasa Sayang song that we had earlier. You can sing Rasa Sayang, hey, Rasa Sayang, Sayang, hey. Hey, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. May you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Okay, and we take a deep breath, breathe in, then we breathe out. Okay, so flat. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey. Hey, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Can? It's quite simple. So whenever you feel a bit mentally out of balance, a bit stressed up, a bit panicky, that's butterfly hug. Okay. So this is more for emotional distress. The next practice, healing hand, this one is more for physical distress. Physical distress. You got all the sakit all over the body, physical pain. Yeah, for example, my stomach is quite sensitive. I have very sensitive stomach. My mom's stomach is also very sensitive. Maybe it runs in the gene. So my stomach, my mom's stomach, our stomach, all very sensitive. Very sensitive to food. You take hot, spicy food, then you get stomach ache. Not just sensitive to food, sometimes also we don't have enough sleep, you get stomach ache. Sometimes a bit in a hurry, a bit stressed out, a bit in a hurry, also get stomach ache. So how do we apply this when we have a physical pain, physical discomfort? Okay, so it's called Kindful Healing Hand. I will use my stomach as an example. Of course, you can use it for other parts of the body. If you feel not well at the chest region, you can put on your chest. If you feel the stomach, you can put on your stomach. If on your hand, you can put on your hand. So depending on which part of the body that you feel the pain. For demonstration purpose, because I have sensitive stomach, I will use stomach. Okay, so I will use the hand and put on my stomach. Okay, basically is relate to the painful parts of the body with kindness. How do you do that? I will give you many suggestions. Of course, you have to try it out to see which one suits you better. Okay. Of course, you can just gently massage, gently soothe this way. A little bit like for those of you who have been mothers before, when you were expecting, you do like that, you carry your stomach, that kind of mindset, that kind of attitude. So you soothe your stomach. So, okay. How to soothe? Whether you use the right hand, or you use the left hand, or you move both hands, whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, it's up to you. Up to you means you ask your body. You ask your stomach, oh stomach, how do you want it to be? So you ask yourself. So it's a self-kindness practice. So you ask the body. Don't ask the doctor. Don't ask me. Don't ask the physician, because they will know it's your body, it's our body. So we ask our own body. I like it that way. So one way is just soothing. Of course, you can sing a song as well. So my favorite song is a Rasa Sayang song. So you can also soothe and you sing Rasa Sayang, hey, Rasa Sayang, Sayang, hey. Hey, may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Okay? When I sing that, when I say may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, and happy, I am thinking of my stomach. When I say may I, I'm relating to my stomach. When I say may you, I'm referring to my mother's stomach. I'm pointing up because my mother is staying upstairs. I'm here, my mom is staying upstairs. Yeah, so may I is my stomach, may you is my mom's stomach. And when I say may we, I'm referring to everyone in this world, like those my patients in my clinic who also experiencing the same stomach disease. Okay. Of course, singing has the effect, but if we understand the meaning in the lyrics, may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. With that wisdom, the understanding, it becomes more powerful. Right? Of course, you can do some chanting also. You can chant Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. You can do that. You can chant Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. You can do that. Okay. Which chanting does your stomach like? Ask who? You ask your stomach. Ask your stomach. So that is kindfulness practice, that's self-kind. Ask the stomach. Ask. Then your stomach may say, today I like metta chanting. Another day, your stomach will say, today I don't like metta chanting. I like heart sutra chanting. You just follow your heart or your stomach. Of course, you can do some breathing as well. You can imagine breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. You can do the breathing, you can do with some visualization. For example, you can, when you breathe in, you can maybe imagine, a monk, maybe your favorite monk or your favorite nun, sprinkling some holy water. Sprinkling some holy water to your tummy. Okay. So those are some examples. I leave it to you to figure out on how you can be more creative in relating to the physical disease with kindness, with self-love, self-compassion. That's the way. Actually, there are two ways to start this practice. Of course, the first one is you start with the physical discomfort, pure physical discomfort. Like yesterday, I had a little bit of food poisoning. I think it was some food. I don't know what food I took wrongly. I somehow caught. So it started off with a physical problem. Of course, and I do this. Also put some, you can put some essential oil or put some ointment into this. Sometimes I start with the physical discomfort, then I do the practice. Sometimes it starts with the mental distress first. The physical symptom is secondary to something mental, something emotional. You heard the word psychosomatic, mind, body. So sometimes it's the mind first, then it causes the physical discomfort. But you want to heal the mind, you want to heal the mind directly, it's a bit difficult. Where is the mind? Where's the mind? A bit difficult. So the skillful way is be mindful of the physical manifestation of the mental distress. Be mindful of the physical manifestation of the mental distress. Then you ask the body, where do you feel the distress? Some people feel it here at the chest region. Some people feel it at the tummy region. Some people feel it at the throat. Some people feel it at the head. So it doesn't matter. Most importantly, be mindful of where we feel it in the body, and we relate to the part of the body with this kindful hand practice. Alright? So that is from the mind converted to the body, and then we relate to the body with kindness. Yeah. So that's the kindful healing hand practice. So butterfly hug, very good for mental distress. Kindful healing hand, good for physical distress. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is compassionate communication. Okay, this one is applying kindness in the interpersonal setting. So just now the two practices, the two practices, and also the earlier one, they are focusing on intrapersonal, it's within ourselves. So my tummy distress, okay, I heal my tummy. I got my mental distress, okay, I heal my mental distress. But sometimes our stress and distress is an interpersonal, It's not just my tummy or my mind, It's between one person with another person. So how do we apply kindness in a relationship setting? So I'm suggesting a method called compassionate communication. Compassionate communication. And this was developed by a psychologist by the name Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. The original term he used was called non-violent communication. But later he changed this term to compassionate communication. And find this very useful, and I find this consistent with the Buddha's teachings on kindness, love, and compassion. Okay. But I want to relate it more to self-kindness because our sharing today is on self-kindness. Very often in human relationship, in conflict, very often we just keep everything in our heart. We have certain needs, we have certain emotion, we got certain feelings we don't express. It's quite common. And sometimes say, I don't express, let go, let go. Of course, sometimes it's a small thing we can easily let go. But sometimes letting go, the inverted comma letting go can have some side effect. If you let go without wisdom, sometimes it can have side effect. So the positive side effect is you let go, but actually it's not a true letting go, So if let go is actually still there, you will grow and grow and grow and grow. You not just let go, you let go, but actually there, you grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. One day it will burst. Then you end up with a major conflict, major argument. Yeah. How to prevent that? How to, in a relationship, how to be fair to us and be fair to others at the same time? How to be kind to ourselves and be kind to the other party at the same time? If you can do that, it will be good, isn't it? Instead of extreme. Extreme is, okay lah, I kind to you lah, I give in lah, I let go lah, whatever you want lah. Joanne, you want, I give you lah. Megan, you want, I give you lah. Charlie, you want, I give you lah. I just follow you lah. Follow, be kind lah, let go. That might not be kind to me. If I say, everything follow me lah. Okay, so my thought important, your thought not important, your need more, you just follow me. That is not fair to you. Right? Of course, if the relationship is more of touch and go, it's a touch and go relationship. I only see you once, that doesn't matter. A lot of our relationship in life, it's just touch and go. Then fine, touch and go, fine. But if it's a committed relationship, it's like husband and wife, parents and children, or Dharma friends, close Dharma friends, it'll be good, it'll be useful to have a communication style that can be kind to ourselves and also kind to the other person, and we are kind to ourselves. Kind to me, kind to you, kind to us. So this is in this context that I introduced this compassionate communication. Okay, good. Whatever we are not happy, whatever challenges we have, we are not happy, you want to speak up, be specific. Okay, say what we observe. Say what we observe and be specific. Don't be judgmental. I'll give you an example. Okay, for example, you say, Joanne, you are very selfish. Example only I know you're not I just say, Joanne, you are very selfish. That is not specific, that is also very judgmental. Very judgmental is passing a judgment. You are very selfish. It should be very specific. We only say what you hear and what we see. That's observation. We say what we hear and what we see, specifically in what situation. Whatever situation that you think Joanne is selfish. So don't use the word selfish because it's very judgmental, it's very non-specific. Just say exactly what you hear and what you see and be very specific. Okay. More detailed example I will give you afterwards. I have 3 case scenarios afterwards. So these are just very brief. Okay. Then the one in the middle finger is say how we feel. Say how we feel. You can say whatever you feel. You can say, I feel upset, I feel frustrated, I feel angry, I feel jealous, I feel not nice, you can say whatever you feel, but don't say you make me feel. Don't say, Megan, you make me feel like that. Joanne, you make me feel like that. Brother Charlie, you make me feel like that one, that's not the way. But we can say whatever I feel. I feel upset, I feel angry, I feel. And okay. And after we say how we feel, we express our need and empathy. We express our need with empathy. So can you see the language style is very beautiful. We are being kind to ourselves. We also be kind to the other party. Say what you want. Sometimes some people they talk. After talking for a long time, we still do not know what they want, you know. We still do not know what they need. So to facilitate the communication, we have to express what we need. Of course, we have to empathize what the other person needs as well. We cannot always think of our need. We need to empathize the other person's need as well. So that's being kind to ourselves and kind to the other person. It's not just it's not just me kind or you kind, it's we kind. Not just me kind or you kind, we kind. Then we express our request, what do we want, and we're willing to negotiate. It's not just I want that I'll get everything I want. We express what we want, what we need, and then we request and then we negotiate. So that's briefly. Let's see the 3 case scenarios so to make it clearer. Okay, first case scenario. First case scenario. The setting is husband is upset with his wife for spending too much time at work. So typically the husband, without understanding of self-kindness, will say, why you're so selfish one? You shouldn't be doing that. Why you're always like that? You shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't like that. And just go. Okay. If we use the compassionate communication method, the conversation will be something like this. Okay. Darling, when you return home from work late, as stated in the observation, I feel lonely. I need you to be with the family more often. Can you spend at least one evening a week with the kids and me? I know you're busy at work and it's difficult to find time, but we really appreciate your presence. So this is compassionate communication, compassionate script. So there's a component of observing. When you return home from work, it's very specific of what you hear and see. Express of feeling instead of you make me feel. Okay, it's expression of the need. I need you to be the family. Make the request and we empathize. Because this doesn't come naturally. We have to calm down and then script the composition. Not easy, but having a formula is better than no formula at all. Second scenario, the balik. Wife is frustrated with her husband for not washing the dishes. Some of you are laughing. Okay. So typically, untrained wife who has not attended compassionate communication or self-kindness talk, typically the wife will say, you're always like that one. I'm so upset with you. You don't care. You don't care. Why you're like that? Last time also like that. All the problems sometimes can spread to the in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, all the problems will come up. Okay. I'm not proposing you to do that, but just to create a contrast. Okay, how would a compassionate communication look like? Okay, it looks like it. Honey, it stresses me out. Expression of feeling. It stresses me out when I have to clean dirty dishes after a long day of work. So it's very specific observation, what you hear and what you see. I need, right? The expression of need. I need things to be in order. It's not your problem, it's my problem. I'm a bit OCD, I'm a bit obsessive, you know. I need things to be organized. That's my need. I'm not complaining about you. That's my need. Can you make sure they are clean before I return? It's a request. Can you do that for me, for my need? I know you buy, I know you're busy, not buy. I know you're busy. I know you're busy. It's a spelling error. I know you're busy. So there's empathy. Maybe we could set up a schedule and share responsibility together. So this is a suggestion. Very nice, isn't it? Of course, as I said, easier said than done, but having a formula, a format is better than no formula. Okay, next one. This one is scenario. Mother is unhappy with her young daughter, young adult who wants to stay out, wants to move out to stay. Right? You get the scenario? So young adult, college student want to move out to stay. So typical mom will say, Why you do that? You cannot take care of yourself. Sure, you can take care of yourself or not? Why you don't care of our mother? Is it? We spend so much money to prepare for your education. You're so selfish. You don't think of us anymore. You go out, you can take care of yourself. I don't think you can take care of yourself. 3 months you'll come back one. That is a usual conversation. How does a compassionate communication look like? Okay, you look something like this. Okay. Girl, I'm very worried when I know from daddy that you're moving out soon. I need to ensure that you're safe. It's not your problem. It's just that I want to feel safe. I know you wish to learn to be independent. You empathize. I know you hope to be independent. Okay. Can you tell me more about your plans? How about postponing the date so that we can make more arrangement to support you? Much better, isn't it? So the active components are there. Yeah. So this is again the summary of the major components of compassionate communication. It's a very skillful communication style which helps us to be kind to ourselves and at the same time be kind to the other party, and therefore is kind. It's kind to ourselves. Okay, last one. This is the number 7. This practice called EFT tapping. EFT stands for emotional freedom technique. This is very good for releasing negative energies associated with self-hatred. Self-hatred is the opposite of self-kindness. To release the negative energies. Sometimes intellectually we know, rationally we know, but the feeling is there. So this method combines the wisdom of kindness, the wisdom of the Buddha's wisdom of self-kindness, self-compassion, plus the modern practice of EFT. It is based on energy medicine. It's to relieve negative energy. Okay, how do we do that? You just follow me. Okay, follow me. It was tapping on the 12 energy point, and there's also an affirmation component. Okay, so the first part, we tap here, tap. Gently tap, gently tap. Okay, as we tap, we say in our heart or we say out, we say, I love, care, and accept myself. I love, care, accept myself. So as you're tapping, tap with kindfulness, tap with kindness, with self-compassion, with self-love. That will also mean smile a little bit, put on a little smile. That, okay. I love, care, and accept myself deeply and unconditionally. Deeply, unconditionally. Deeply means with wisdom. Deeply means with wisdom and unconditionally. I love, care, accept myself deeply and unconditionally for my happiness and the happiness of many. If you want the exact words in the next slide, you can see the exact words. So that's I love, care, accept myself deeply and unconditionally for our happiness and the happiness of many. You can change the words, but the meaning is more or less the same. I love, care, accept myself deeply and unconditionally for our happiness. So you can do it for the other side as well. I love, care, accept myself deeply and unconditionally for our happiness. Okay, for this side. Then we go to the other points. Okay, so the point is top of the head. So we say something like that. Okay, what you say depending on your issues. I just say in general. Okay, so you tap at the forehead, not the forehead, the top of the head. Okay. Even though I make mistakes, I still love, care, and accept myself. Even though I make mistake, I still love, care, and accept myself. Then go to the next point here. So you can say things like, even though I'm a divorcee, even though I'm a single father, Even though I'm a single mother, I still love, care, and accept myself. Okay? Then you go to the next point, corner of the eye. Corner of the eye. Even though I have fear of being infected by COVID, or even though I'm already infected by COVID, even though I need to be quarantined, even though I have a lot of anxiety, fear, and worries related to the COVID, I still love, care, and accept myself. Okay, then you go to the next point, below the eyes. Even though I have defilements, even though I still got great hatred delusion, even though that I'm still not enlightened, even though I'm sometimes jealous, even though I feel guilty, I still love, care, accept myself. I still love, care, accept myself. Okay? Next point, below the nose. Okay? Even though there is some technical problem with the Zoom sharing, even though there's some technical problem, I still love, care, accept myself. And chin. Even though there's MCO, even though I have to work from home, even though I have to stay at home, even though I cannot do this, cannot do that, even though I feel so horrible, I still love, care, accept myself. Then go to the back. Even though I'm not good in my studies, I still love, care, accept myself. This is the back. Okay, then you go down. Even though I'm slow in learning, I still love, care, accept myself. There you go. Even though as a caretaker, sometimes I get impatient taking care of my mother, taking care of my father, taking care of my sister. Even though I sometimes get impatient, get irritated, I still love, care, accept myself. This is the chest. This is point number 10. Okay, 11 is below the armpit. So you can say anything that you don't like about yourself. Anything that's self-love. Yeah. Even though I'm impatient, I still love, care of myself. Yeah. It's like, even though I have cancer, even though I got diabetes, yeah, I still love, care of myself. Or even though I had abortions, okay, I still love, care of myself. Even though I don't like myself, I still love, care of myself. Love, care, accept myself. The last point is here. Risk. This is point number 12. Even though I don't understand the thought, even though the speaker tried to explain very clearly, even though I still don't get it, or even though I get it, but I don't think I can practice it, or even if I practice it, I scared I won't be able to sustain my practice. Even that, I still love, care, accept myself. I still love, care of myself. Okay, so total 12 points already, and then we end it with a hug, hugging ourselves.
Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, saya ucapkan sehat selamat sejahtera. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, may I, may you, may all be happy, happy, happy. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang, hey, hey, saya ucapkan sehat selamat sejahtera. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, sayang.